Hello, how are you? In this video I'll be doing something that I've been meaning to do for a while now. That is, you've seen it on the title, and it's make a drawing using my synesthesia. And yes, I do in fact have synesthesia. Now you ask me, Angel, what the fuck is synesthesia? Well, good thing you asked. So, according to Cleveland Clinic, synesthesia is when your brain routes sensory information through multiple unrelated senses, causing you to experience more than one sense simultaneously. Now, if I have to explain it, it's basically your senses are kind of connected. Depends on which sense as well, like, not all of them are connected, at least, kind of. The more I think about it, the more I realize that actually, like, pretty much everything is connected. My hearing is, like, really fucked up. I just hear stuff, and it's like really messed up. For example, I can hear colors. Now you ask me, how? Well, it's kind of like I hear something and I see a color, and it's really hard to explain, but that's the best way that I could explain it. Also, I can hear shapes and textures and smells, and it's a complicated thing, but we pretend that everything's fine and move on with our life, and we definitely aren't like those memes people make of a person after using certain illegal D stuff, you know, how I always say the illegal Ds. Yeah, and then they make those things where everything's very colorful and you look like Bob Marley? Is that his name? It is. Okay. I got it. I'm still alive, and I know stuff sometimes, from time to time, kind of. Everything's fine. Everything's good. I've been meaning to make a drawing using my synesthesia, specifically how I can listen to colors, right? I can hear colors, I can hear pink, for example. And I've been meaning to use that in my advantage. And I decided to make this little drawing that's a fan art for a musician that I really love, and I have done fan art for them before. That's Scarlet Row right here. I will put them in. I have made fan art for them 2 years ago, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I love their EP Serpents. If you saw my video from Monday, you will know that just by listening to this, you will realize that that was actually supposed to be fan art for this musician, but I kind of got lost. I was supposed to listen to a specific song and use that as like the color reference, and I totally forgot to do that. So here we are again. But that's good, because I was able to actually figure out the composition of the illustration that I actually wanted to make for this, and I finally figured it out, which is this little sketch right here. You see, I drew this. I drew one before in class, but then I decided to actually add colors because I had this vision, this right here. Because the song is called Blue Monday, right? It's a very nice song. I love it. It's always in my head. I listen to it practically every day. You know, it's blue, so I was like, well, I might as well make a full-on blue monochromatic illustration. As I was going along, right, I decided to listen, obviously, to the song while I was trying to figure out the colors, because I decided, well, I might as well listen to the song and draw out the colors and put them down, which was way more difficult than I imagined, because as I tried putting the colors down, I have to really focus right now on what the color is. And as I was trying to, because I could see it, but as I looked at the color wheel, it just wasn't the exact color, and that was really bugging me. So that was very complicated. In the end, I got the colors that I could see. Even though I had the idea for the monochromatic blue one, as I listened to the song, I realized that there's actually no blue sound in the song, and that was really weird, because her voice is very pink, while the instrumentals are very yellowish and very purple. And that, I know very well that my brain connects certain frequencies to certain colors. For example, lower, more bass type frequencies usually have a more red or brown color to it, while the higher, more high-pitched ones, they are very yellow. And I knew that that would end up like that as I listened to the song again, so here we are. Good thing is that this song basically has a lot of complementary colors. They look very, very well together. It's a very analogous color scheme. So I guess that turned out in my favor. Not what I envisioned, but the concept is what I envisioned. I tried using the outlines for perspective, but honestly, the perspective that I did in my head, just as a sketch in my sketchbook, looked better than the actual me trying to actually do the perspective drawing. What a disappointment. But sure, one day I'll figure it out. I decided to make 2 versions, which you will see at the end. The illustration is basically the Scarlet from the cover of Serpents. Have I ever mentioned I love that EP? I love that EP. I have this weird memory that I don't know if it's real or not, but I swear to God, Serpents was supposed to be an album, and it is an EP, which I know that Scarlett recently got a contract with a label, and I'm very happy for her, and very excited because she is remaking the songs, and I know that she is reworking Blue Monday, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm so excited. If it's already perfect now, just imagine afterwards. I will be so happy. Anyways, enough about me being me. I love music, okay? The colors were easy to figure out. I could see them. Sure, it was a pain in the ass trying to get the exact colors right. I did something different for the rendering in this picture because I just blabbed down the colors and I just started rendering on another layer, like adding some details. I did add some different, like, values of the same color to the illustration just to like add some depth to it, but it's basically still the same colors. It's the same hues throughout the whole illustration, just to add more detail. I don't know, I just went in with my one brush, the one like sharp brush that I usually use for I don't know what. Honestly forgot the way that I draw. And I just started painting with it. I don't know, I just felt like it and I went for it. So I just started painting and like kind of rendering it. I had no idea what to use for the outfit, so I kind of went for the... Oh, I forgot. So I was going to go for the outfit worn in the Blue Monday cover, which is a very, very beautiful, pretty shirt with like this rose flower pattern on it. And guess who forgot to put down the flower pattern on the shirt? That's right! Me! Hi! I'm so happy about that. Oh man. But the skirt is very cute. I decided to add a very ruffly skirt because, I don't know, when I saw the flower pattern shirt, I was like, well, this gives me ruffled skirt vibes. If I sounded weird saying that, it's because I am, okay? It was a fun little experience. I should make an actual, like, acrylic painting with it. I love painting with acrylics, and I would love to paint, like, listening to something and just, like, putting down the colors that I hear. Like I put a playlist on and then just start coloring stuff, but that would be interesting. I've always meant to do like drawings using my synesthesia because it's a very cool ability to have. The day I figured out that not everyone has this, it was a weird experience because I was like, well, this sounds like really, really green. And it has like a sort of line texture, you know, that one cloth that has like a sort of line pattern on it. It just is very triangle, and then people are like, what the fuck? And I say, and it smells like really smoky. And they're always weirded out by that. But sure, we pretend everything's fine, right? In the illustration, I forgot to add the raindrops, so I added it off camera last minute because I am kinda stupid and have no brain, and I lack a sense of memory, and yeah. The green, like both blue and greenish turquoise-ish color that I could hear somewhere in the back, I decided to add as accent colors because it was a very background noise and I still don't know what instrument was making that. But for the most part, the song is very purple and pink. I was actually surprised. I really thought this song would sound blue because I thought that my brain would just connect it like directly because Blue Monday, but it wasn't. You know, actually it's very interesting because I rarely hear a voice that sounds pink. At this point I only found 2 people, like from all the people that I can think of. That's this musician and an ASMRist. And it's really interesting because at first I thought, well, maybe like these higher pitch voices that are whispered sound pink in my head or something along those lines, but no, it turns out that Scarlett's voice also does, so I guess that's something very interesting. It's really rare for me to find pink around in people. At this point I still have not found an instrument that actually sounds pink, which is, I guess, something that I could look out for. And oh man, it was really fun. I tried adding a lot of like elements as well, like I added a carpet and I had some makeup on the desk that's there, and an old telephone, because I was like, you know, there's the part in the song where she sings, "Would I lie if I told you I'm hurt?" And I really like that line. I love that line. That line makes me just feel many ways. Okay. And I decided, like, this is perfect. I want that. I need this. And I knew that I wanted to make something inspired by that line specifically. And I knew that I had this concept in my mind because I could envision it. Like, this drawing isn't the exact thing that I envisioned, because I have to admit, even me, who knows how to draw, I would say at least I know how to draw, I don't think that the concept I have in my head I can transmit on any canvas yet. Or I have not figured it out. I tried, but it does not look like how I wanted it to. And I don't have the patience nor time to actually go through with the actual drawing that I have in my mind, because that would include lots of background drawings, and I don't want to go through with that. I could, but I won't. Also because the background that I have in my head is just very much Little Miss Future's like living room, and I don't want to go through with that because that's Little Miss Future's living room. So here is the finished illustration. I like how this turned out. I think it's very cute. I like the accent colors. I liked how I used a lot of like lines to add some detail. Obviously I added my textures over the whole illustration because I love adding those. And here somewhere is the second version where I did the first concept that I had in my mind, which is making the whole thing monochromatic and blue. So I hope you enjoyed this, and now you know something more about me, I guess. I don't know if you wanted to know that, but now you know. And I hope you have a nice day and bye.